Hello, everyone. We are now in the Catholic tradition and other Christian traditions in the season of Lent, which we reflected on last week. A particular focus today is we look at what's going on around us, especially in our culture today, in politics, in just everything happening. A lot of people are feeling discontent. A lot of people are trying to sort out for themselves where they find some measure of happiness. Because we've all learned, in our culture, a lot of it is happiness while we're successful, we have a good job, good position, we're making good money, we're in good relationships with people, and we're able to do a lot of enjoyment activities, and especially now it's sunny and warm again. Spring is coming, so all of that should lend itself to happiness. And understandably, it's legitimate. People want to be happy. Or where do we get that? How do we get that? I want to talk again. You know me, I often talk about somebody that can give us an illustration from their life. That I've often said, what is most deeply personal is most universal. And here, I want to tell you about the personal quest of one young man about finding happiness, looking for it, not finding it, and then ultimately finding a greater meaning and purpose and joy in his life. This is a fellow that I knew from years ago when I was doing some ministry at the University of Akron campus at college. And now he's around 30 years old, and he came to see me, this is probably a few months ago, because we had known each other at the Newman Center. He had enjoyed his college years, including being part of the faith community there. But now at 30, when he thought life was just beginning and he had a great job and he had a woman that he's dating and everything, instead of feeling content and happy, and he's not feeling that. What's the issue? Well, at the very least, that very missing something, he wanted to talk it out. He came to me, remembering me as somebody that he knew when he was younger, and in what he considered a happier time, those college years. So as he came to me, we began to talk, and one of the things asked him, well, where are you looking for happiness, but somehow you're not finding it? Or where are you looking for happiness and you have it for a while and then it's missing? And got him to share part of his life story. We all have a life story. For some of us, it might be similar. And so in talking to him, he mentioned that he was in college. He was in the whole area of business and looking for a good job in business and in finance, and he had a good ability in that area. He had a good personality, could relate well with people, and so he found a really good job probably within a year or two after he had graduated from the university, and he was so excited. He was in this position, and within 3 or 4 years, he told me that he ended up making a real sizable increase in his salary, and a lot of people looking up to him and acknowledging him as a leader. So all that was very great. And he told me that for a while, yeah, he was on top of it. This was great. He had everything he ever wanted to be happy. And he said he was, but only for a while. Maybe kind of got used to it, maybe kind of said, well, gee, this doesn't seem to be the total fulfillment of life. Is there something more? Then he also told me in a relationship with a young woman. And he said there again, it was great. It was going very well. And she seemed to be the woman that he was looking for, that they were compatible. They had a lot of common interests. But then he went on to say, they were dating for a while. I don't know, maybe it was a year or so, and that relationship seemed to fizzle out. And so here he was, had a great job, didn't have a relationship, and what's going on here? And I talked to him on a spiritual point because he was coming to me as a priest, and I said, well, how you doing spiritually? And he told me, well, when he was at the University of Akron, at the Newman Center, he went to Mass every week. He went once a week to a Bible study there, and that was all good. I said, well, are you still doing that? And he said, well, I kind of got away from that. He said, life gets busy, so much is going on, the job is taking more time. I said, well, are you going to church at all? And he said, haven't been in the last probably year or two. He said, didn't feel like he was getting much out of it, like he was kind of going through the motions, and okay, he was there, and religion has a place, but it just didn't touch his heart. It didn't speak to him there. And so I said, well, do you think that's the fault of, hey, our Catholic faith? We can have legitimate complaints. Maybe sometimes you just get caught up in religion is a bunch of rituals and doctrines that don't connect. So is that what's going on? He said, well, maybe some of it. And then I said to him, well, how about you? Are you really open? I said, for me, and we talked about that in your college years, the greatest fulfillment we can find in our life, the greatest sense of meaning and purpose and relationship is coming to a deeper personal sense of God, for those of us as Christians, in Jesus Christ. And knowing that Jesus wants us not just to accept him as some doctrine or not just as some wise person that gives us a lot of things to remember in order to go through life. Jesus has a relentless desire to be in a relationship with us. The heart of our faith is relationship. And it's relationship maybe as he finds out, okay, he may date different people in his life, but the Lord wants to be the fundamental relationship that and I've seen it, and he knew about it, that when people are deeply related in the Lord and know his love and know that each of us is a beloved son or daughter of God, then you don't have to look for another relationship to be everything for you, to be the ultimate, because when you've got the Lord at the center, then yeah, other relationships are important, but you don't need them as, okay, I'm only going to be happy if I'm with this person. And we talked about that, and I encouraged him to consider making a retreat, maybe a renewal of what he had in college, of coming to know Jesus' love in a personal way. Lent is a season to do that. Lent is a season not just to do a lot of habits to be better. Yeah, I'm going to be more disciplined, get up early, exercise, all that. But it's a call to a realization that our God in Jesus Christ gave his life and wants us to know and experience his love. So I could go on and on about this, but the fellow, he did end up making a retreat to renew his faith that really was about coming to a new or a renewed, deeper relationship with the God who loves us and who created us and who lets us know our ultimate fulfillment is found in God, whose love is always there, will always be there, loves us no matter what we've done wrong or where we've fallen short, always receives us and says, hey, come back, I'm here for you, and I love you. And so that retreat he made, and I told him, I said, don't just make the retreat, you need to follow it up. And what he told me recently, he'd gotten in a men's Bible study and down the retreat in the study, and he said it just gave him more life again, because it gave him that meaning and purpose that making money isn't going to be the end all. Finding the human relationships important, but the ultimate meaning is found in knowing there's a God who loves us, who's there for us, who gives us meaning and purpose, because we can take his love and not only receive it, but have a purpose in sharing that with others to make the world a little better. And God is the ultimate one who can help us do that. So think about it. Where are you in that relationship with God? And how can you, or how are you already finding your meaning and your purpose and that sense that of the love of God that you're called to trust in, believe in, not as a doctrine, but as a relationship, and pass on to a lot of other people who need to find where true happiness is found. God bless you.